This is Diane Gilson, and today we're talking about speed, accuracy, and control using your purchase orders. So the one thing that I thought about, where is it that you would want speed, accuracy, and control in the rest of your life? And that would be if you're out driving a race car. Now, I haven't done a lot of that race car driving, but I'll tell you what, if I was in one, I would want all of those things in place. Probably accuracy and control first, and then I'd go for the speed. But seemed like a good analogy at the time when I put this together. So, okay, we'll go on. And today what we're going to be talking about is why we don't and why we should use purchase orders and how to get speed, accuracy, and control with purchase orders within QuickBooks. We'll be looking at purchase order reports, faster cash flow using purchase orders in real life. We're going to be talking about some special techniques for special situations and what kinds of results should we expect to see if we're using purchase orders. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. We're going to look at our handout for today. And again, in the handout, I've gone ahead and put screenshots. I will flip back and forth into QuickBooks as we go along as well. But in the handouts, you'll see the bigger screenshots and some reminders of how to get to various places within QuickBooks. So there are a lot of reasons why mid-sized and smaller companies don't use purchase orders in QuickBooks. Of course, anybody who is a larger company, is handling a lot of materials and so on, probably has transitioned over to the PO side. But if you haven't, let's just talk about why we see quite often that companies are not using the POs. First of all, they might not know that it's available in QuickBooks or even have the feature turned on. It's not unusual for me to find out that people go, oh, well, I didn't know we could do purchase orders. So in the event that you don't have that feature turned on, you can double check and see. You go up into Edit. Okay, we're going into that Preferences screen, and we're going to go to the Company Preferences, and you'll look at the Items and Inventory area under the Preferences, and you'll want to click on this thing that says Inventory and Purchase Orders are active. Now, if you don't deal with inventory, it's not going to hurt anything, but this is the way you get those purchase orders turned on. Advanced inventory is something, I'll mention it again a little bit later, that is, you're seeing it here because I'm working in Enterprise, and that is an option starting with Enterprise 2011, and so I've clicked that on because I wanted to play with it a bit. So you may see some things that relate to advanced inventory as we progress. But that's where you turn on your purchase orders feature. And once you turn that on, you'll be able to see that icon out here on your front screen up here in this upper left-hand corner. Okay, so in some cases, people just haven't used them before, and they don't really know why they should or how to use them. So, of course, we're going to cure that problem today. Sometimes people say, well, we don't buy much in the way of materials, or we don't subcontract out a lot, and we just have typical office supplies and a few fixed assets. And I'd say that's one of the really, probably about the only really valid reason that I can think of that you might not want to use purchase orders. So depending upon what type of business you're running, then that may apply. But if you're in construction or in manufacturing or a service business where you've got subcontractors and materials coming and going in any kind of volume through the business, that probably doesn't hold water. So maybe people don't want to take the time to get quotes or bids and just, let's just get the stuff and do it. And again, that may be appropriate for smaller jobs, but as soon as you start getting into any quantity or volume, I think you'll see that there are a lot of great reasons to be using the POs. We got the bid from the supplier. That's enough. Okay, I got a quote from the supplier. Well, what we'll talk about is that may be great for the supplier who's given you the bid, but purchase orders could do a lot to protect you as a purchaser. And we'll talk about that. Too much bother and paperwork. We're going to be talking about how you can probably scale back on the amount of paperwork that's involved and still have a good and effective purchase order system. Another thing that comes up is, I worked for a company that had POs. It was a big problem, and we just had to take care of every nickel and dime, and I don't want to impose that on my people. It just takes too long and keeps us from getting our job done. And I think maybe people who are saying that have come out of a system that might have been carried a bit too far.